When I woke up on my hospital bed, I noticed that Flowers were long dead. Every move was followed by excruciating pain, but I still tried to stand up. As expected, my weak-ass legs couldn't hold me, but I didn't give up there. I shouted for this bitch nurse, but she didn't hear shit, so I went to beat her ass. I couldn't care less about the shit that was happening around, like bullet holes and blood everywhere, or a fucking body laying on the ground. As I went further, I saw something. It was some door with a silly text on it. Of course, I reached out to open it, but somebody in there noticed me and wanted to be friends with me. But unfortunately for them, I had social anxiety, so I ran away. When I walked out of the building, I saw hundreds of bodies laying on the ground. I understood that nurse won't help me with this, so I let that slide for now. Although I didn't know what the fuck was happening, I knew that I needed to go home and check my family first. As I entered, it was clear that everyone was gone. I uselessly shouted for my wife and son, but nobody replied. I was crushed and broke down crying on the ground. But there was something that gave me a tiny bit of hope. The family albums were gone too, which could mean that my family collected essentials and now in a safe place. As I was processing this information, somebody approached me. I was distracted and somebody used this. The last thing I saw was a man who shot somebody and then proceeded to ask weird questions like, "Have I been bitten?" I couldn't hold on anymore and passed out. When I woke up, I was tied to a bed. After a small talk, owner of the house understood that I was no threat and cut the ropes that were holding me. I was still in shock, but eventually sat down with everyone at the dinner table. When I asked about what was happening here, the owner was surprised how I knew nothing about the current situation. I explained that I was in a coma state, and shortly after he gave me an answer, the deadly virus had spread all across the earth. Everybody called infected the Walking Dead. If you get bitten or even scratched, you become one of them. The next day, we were looking for supplies. Luckily, before the apocalypse, I worked in police, so we found lots of useful stuff like guns and ammo. After we packed everything, we went outside, where we decided to split up. To keep in touch, I gave him a walkie-talkie. Then we went our separate ways. When I was looking for my family and heading towards legendary city Atlanta, which was stated to be a safe place for survivors, my friend had some unfinished duties here. Soon I ran out of gas and had to ride a horse, which I found in nearby village. This scene was terrifying. The city looked like long abandoned one, but I still continued riding. Nobody was in sight. But when I turned on this corner,